All right, let's talk about it. Welcome back to another quick review. Today we are talking about the latest video game adaptation, The Last of Us. The latest one and the greatest one. I'll be real, I was going into this like my favorite video game adaptation before this show was Sonic 2. I love Sonic 2. Sonic 2 is so good. And I feel like even other shows like other shows and movies didn't really do it all that well. Like I've now played like some of the Uncharted games. I've gone back and watched that movie. That's not good. Sonic One and Detective Pikachu were great, but even like the Ratchet and Clank and Halo to a certain extent, like those are just not good. This is how you do it. You don't change a thing, but at the same time you change everything, right? And what I mean by that is, for the most part, the story beats are exactly the same. You go exactly where you go in the game. It's just sometimes how you get there, or some of the things that happen on the way are different. It's like how they describes. It's like how Square Enix describes Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right? Where it's like, or something like that, where it's like you'll go to the same places. Like you'll go to Nibelheim, you'll go to Junon, you'll go to Calm, Gongaga, Cosmo Canyon, Gold Saucer. You'll go to all those places. Rocket Town. You'll go to all those places, but the way that you get there and the sequence of events might be different. Like you'll get there, but they might be different. They add on to that. That's a good way. That's a good thing. That's how you do an adaptation or a remake. That is the best way to do it, right? Um, in this case, The Last of Us, they added on so much, like so much background to like, characters that didn't have it. Like for example, one of my favorite episodes was episode 3 with Bill, of course, and his entire backstory with Rick was so tragic. It was so upsetting, but it was such a good episode. And then um, one of my favorite parts of the game when I was playing it was Sam and Henry and their entire arc, and Sam and Henry in this show was even more of a gut punch because you see, Henry's no Sam, my bad, Sam is deaf and or mute. I think he's deaf, but like so there's just so much behind it, and then you get to see like the freaking Raiders and their backstories, and it's giving everybody a story, like the cannibalists, like giving them a story, like giving them background and reasons to be sympathetic for them, and that's why I love The Last of Us, and specifically part two, where it's like everybody, like you can understand why everybody's doing the things that they are. That doesn't make it morally good, but you can understand why they're doing it, and everybody is like sympathetic in a way that it's like, I get it, right? I somewhat get it, and that's why I love specifically part two, because part two, this entirely part two. Like if you can't understand why they're doing it, then you will like why what's happening is happening. Then you will never like part two. You would never like part two. I love part two. You would never like part two if you don't understand why that is. But yeah, um, and then of course the story beats the hospital and Left Behind, and Ellie and Joel. I want to talk about them for a moment. Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey are perfect as these two characters. Um, Specifically Bella Ramsey. Pedro Pascal is perfect as every character, but he killed it as Joel. But Bella Ramsey is like so Ellie, it hurts. She's so Ellie, it hurts. I'm very excited to see how she portrays the character going into season 2. All things considering, I know what happens, and I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see if she could pull off the type of Ellie that we saw in part 2. I'm like will she get the look down, the acting, like the character, like what Ellie goes through, the emotion, right? And like the mental state and all of that. I'm really hoping to see how she portrays that. I can't wait to see how she portrays that character in season 2. Um, every other actor did great. Love seeing of course like Bill and Frank and Tess and Marlene and all that, and then the cameos like Jeffrey Preston, Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson, Laura Bailey, all of those people, phenomenal. Overall, Last of Us, just Phenomenal TV show, phenomenal adaptation, 10 out of 10 adaptation. I highly recommend you watch it. If you've played the games or you haven't played the games, I'd still recommend you watch it. Now, if you haven't played the games, if you haven't played the games, then would I recommend you go play the games? Absolutely. But it doesn't matter which one because they're both really, really good. This is a 10 out of 10 show, and I would highly recommend it to everybody. And I cannot wait to see the people's reaction to season 2 because, man, I cannot wait to see the fallout to that. Because I was around the video game community in 2020 when part 2 came out, and I wasn't I didn't know I heard of it, but I didn't like know it, so I kind of ignored it. I didn't see the fallout of 2020, and now that I've played the games, I've read read up on the reviews, what people said about it. I'm just like, yeah, I understand, yeah, I get it, and so yeah, I can't wait to see that fallout again after season 2. This is so funny. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the quick review. See ya. Bye.